Hey guys, it's One, and I am here with three of the other key keepers. And today we are going to be discussing Square Be Fair and also on the future of Kingdom Hearts collectible. So I am here joined with three of the other key keepers, and I would like them to introduce themselves now.
What's up, you guys? This is Volt Edits, and I'm just going to pass on the next introduction to the next Keykeeper because I'm excited to be here, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this discussion video about Square Be Fair. It was a big controversy, but yeah, go ahead, introduce yourself, the next Keykeeper.
Hi guys, I'm HMK, and I'm a big supporter of Square Be Fair and the whole jazz about, if we should get all of the Kingdom Hearts collectibles that are exclusive to Japan or other regions. Should I go international? Well, let's see what's in store. Let's go on to the next Keykeeper.
What's going on, guys? It's Cynical, and yeah, today I'm going to be discussing obviously this huge big campaign that's going on Twitter and pretty much everywhere, and that's the Square Be Fair. Of course, with the fairness between the rest of the world and Japan, getting all the different, collectives and stuff that is exclusive to Japan, we want these to go worldwide. So let's get on with it.
Okay, so a point I like to go across is that this is going to be a very free-form discussion-based video, and it's going to be on all of our channels, and I hope you guys will take the chance to look at all our channels and subscribe to all of them as well. Now before we go on, I like to address that of course Skyward was not able to join us today because he is on vacation. Yay! So he's off on a cruise. He wasn't able to join us today, and I think he's pretty oblivious to this whole Square Be Fair thing. Anyways, going on. The whole thing about Square Be Fair is a Kingdom Hearts YouTuber by the name of KHSora98, if I believe, went on to start this movement with the hashtag Square Be Fair, because like him and most of us, we're pretty pissed about North America and Europe only getting a collectible Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 pin with the game. And the whole deal with that is that when you pre-order the game, you get a free upgrade to the limited edition, which just came with a pin. Where we do know that in Japan, they're getting this whole big collector set and all this awesome, goodies, which is available to them. But of course, it's not available to the States, to our knowledge. And this is a discussion about that. For one, I am very pissed and I'm very mad about that. And that's why I do support the whole hashtag Square Be Fair movement. What about you guys?
Well, me personally, I'm as well angry, but, as we said before, this is going to be a really free-form video. We're trying not to rage, make a big rant about it, so this is just pretty much all of our opinions on it, specifically in a calm way, I guess you could specifically say, like how Dean is in most of his videos. He's very calm. So, pretty much, for the Square Be Fair movement, it was a big controversy, as HMK explained before, and KHSora98, it was the one that started it, hashtag Square Be Fair on Twitter, and it actually almost pretty much got trending. It was pretty much it came up in, when you went to go type in a hashtag and type in Square, it would show up. So it was getting out there, starting to trend. And we actually started this movement. I feel like Square-Enix is pretty much taking into consideration our opinions about the pin. They did say, and I believe they had an interview or something this morning where people are asking questions and stating, Square Be Fair. And they did say that they were going to keep this in mind for future Kingdom Hearts games. I'm not sure if that directly means Kingdom Hearts 2.5, if it is future Kingdom Hearts games, but it most likely means, future Kingdom Hearts games. Furthermore, as on, Kingdom Hearts 3. And that was my main worry about them making this pretty much an unfair pre-order bonus or limited edition, as I term it. Dean here would term it as a pre-order bonus, because technically it is a pre-order bonus, because when you buy the standard edition of 2.5, they automatically upgrade you to the limited edition version, which comes with a pin. So technically you can consider it a pre-order bonus because you're getting it, but technically they term it as a limited edition, so I feel like it's a limited edition, but other people have different opinions. Furthermore, as I was saying before, this kind of upset me, mostly for the fact that I felt like they were going to do the same thing for Kingdom Hearts 3, and I was worried about that mostly. That's why I mostly joined in on the Square Be Fair movement, which I'm a huge supporter of, and that's really my opinion on this mainly, and I'm going to pass it on to Jared now.
Alright, yeah, so, of course, this has all been going on and stuff, and, I'm a supporter on it. I only really saw it last night, and already we had so many supporters, the ex-keepers, and, sort of just minor people who just follow us too as well, and, it was great to see, like, this huge, Kingdom Hearts community just coming together and trying to reach out to Square to say, hey, there are so many fans located around the world. It's not just in Japan, and I think, sort of, it was sort of mentioned last year when Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced at E3 and stuff. They said that they were going to have more spin-offs before they wanted to release Kingdom Hearts 3, but due to fan demand, they thought, okay, you know, we've been making people wait for like, I don't know, it's coming up like 10 years or something now. We've been making people wait for so freaking long, and they mentioned something about, you know, we've actually realized now that it's not just in Japan where the fan base is located, it's all around the world. And when I saw that, I was like, oh yes, you know, Square's actually finally realizing that there are such a huge fan base, not just in Japan, but United States, Europe, Australia, here in New Zealand, for me, a minor country like, you know, where I am. You know, we're located around the whole entire world. And when I saw that, I was like, all right, maybe this is actually hope for, you know, these exclusive things that Japan are getting. Maybe we're going to start getting these things because, you know, Square Enix have actually come to the realization of, you know, the fan base isn't just in Japan. But, of course, you know, when the whole collector's pack and the starter pack was revealed a couple weeks back, and it was stated that it was only for Japan, I sort of like lost hope with thinking, you know, now that Square's sort of come to the realization of the fan base not just being in Japan, I sort of like lost hope for that sort of thing, because seeing that it's exclusively for Japan, I was like, oh god, you know, like, here we go again. I wasn't really too mad that, you know, we're only receiving a pin, because of the fact that for me, and I suppose for everyone else, we're so used to being, you know, like, sort of put on the side, like, Japan gets all the good stuff, and we get some sort of, you know, some, I don't know, sort of downgraded version, and watered down version, should I say. And I believe, like, for me, I was expecting a 2.5 limited edition to be very similar to the 1.5, and the 1.5 was very good. It was a standard basic limited edition, came with a little box, as well as the game and an art book, and I believe a PS3 theme, which was good. And that's what I was expecting for the 2.5, but just because, like, we've just got this pin now, it's sort of like, well, it's sort of gotten, like, even worse. But hopefully by, like, making these videos, making this hashtag, and getting everyone together, I do really hope that Square Enix do consider to possibly even change this limited edition. Probably not, but hopefully it, like, opens up, you know, the air and makes them rethink about, you know, possibly things later on, like Tyler said, things later on for, like, future Kingdom Hearts titles, like Kingdom Hearts 3 and anything beyond that. So I'll pass the floor over to Dean.
Alright guys, so my opinion on Square Be Fair, the hashtag itself, the actual definition, Square Be Fair to all countries, I completely support that. That sounds like an awesome idea, but some of you may be like looking at me and trying to burn my house down. What kind of supporter are you with all your tweets last night? Look guys, well, you guys, I feel like some people just went about it a little bit of the wrong way. So here in North America, we're getting a limited edition pin, which all of you know about by now, and it is included free of charge. In fact, I remember with 1.5, when they had extra art books at my stores, they sold the art books to people who didn't even pre-order for the same price. So even if you don't pre-order, the limited edition is technically the same price. But that's besides the point. This morning I was on the PlayStation blog, and I got to kind of find a gold mine of information based on the fans' reactions and Square's own voice, where I found Square, a community manager from Square. He was it was actually a new community manager, so they were like replied to a ton of comments with like so much enthusiasm, but I feel like they kind of told us how Square reacted in a sense. So some of the comments were like, hey, we really don't like this pin, it's kind of stupid, look at what Japan's getting, it's not a secret what Japan's getting. And then the Square community manager basically said, guys, we were so excited to bring you this pin. Our brand directors are always trying to think of what's best for you guys. We're not simply throwing you under the bus because we just favor Japan. It's that our brand managers and different regions have different policies to go by and different budgets. So I felt like that opened my eyes a little bit, but the message isn't out there very clearly. And, well, there was also something else that I found extremely interesting. In one of the comments, the community manager actually said something along the lines of, all right, we understand a lot of you guys, pins aren't your thing. That's cool. Let the people who like the pin enjoy the pin. Nothing is set in stone. This was very interesting. They said nothing is set in stone for 2.5 yet. So we're still taking this into consideration, but more so, towards future Kingdom Hearts games since we kind of already promoted this. And I found that very interesting. And since some of this might be new information to some of you guys, what are your opinions on what I just said based on the information from Square?
Well, I don't want to cut off another key keeper. One thing I did want to say was that I felt that when they pretty much made us do a survey for 2.5, as many of you guys know. They made us do a survey where they specifically asked, you know, a couple things that we want. You know, maybe a soundtrack, a wayfinder, you know, a pin, I guess, was on there, I believe, and other stuff like that, another art book. So it kind of upsets me that out of all the things there, that supposedly, I guess, the pin was the most selected. And they specifically made the survey for us in the USA. And you know, for Europe and other stuff like that. So it kind of upset me that they weren't taking that into consideration. And what I'm mainly worried about is that it's going to follow over to Kingdom Hearts 3, as I said before. And I kind of found it, I guess you could say, inconsiderate that they wanted to completely almost invalidate what we wanted for the survey. I know a lot of people wanted the Wayfinder. Does anybody else agree on that? Does anybody else
Yes,
want
I would have
Wayfinder?
absolutely preferred Wayfinder.
Loved it. Yeah.
But I've already gave pretty much my touch on that. I have a couple of things I'm going to say, but I'll say that in a little bit later. So why don't I pass it on to the next key keeper?
Now, addressing on the survey and what Sora Alam said about, you know, the whole deal with the brand management. I understand that. I understand there's budgeting and all that, and I understand there's a difference within areas. But, I mean, they keep giving us that kind of runaround, and I also like to address all the people on the internet that are so placid when they're saying, you know, it's a pin. At least they're giving us something. And I say that constantly over and over again. That kind of mentality is not good. That mentality is poisonous. It's toxic. If we keep that kind of mentality, it kind of gives developers the okay to just, you know, give us anything or just give us nothing. You know, and if it was just a pin and Japan, we didn't know what was coming out in Japan. If it was just a pin, I'm like, okay, a pin, whatever, not that great, but I mean, it's the pin. But we do know that Japan is not only getting the option to get the Play Arts figure, an art book for 2.5, and a music CD for 2.5 and 1.5 put together. Any one of those things, instead of the pin, I would have gone for it. It was just the music CD, awesome. If it was just the art book, awesome. If it was just the figure, I know that's not going to happen, but I'm just saying, if it was just the art book just from that collector's set, I would have been great. With the knowledge that they have that in storage for Japan, I don't, like, it's not even so much a big deal of the collector's set, it's so much a big deal that the collector's book and the fact that we got a collector's book from 1.5, and they kind of got downgraded to the pin. I don't find that appeasing at all. But one thing that Dean was telling me the other day was that this whole deal with the pin set may not be Square-Enix's move entirely. It may be from the higher ups at Disney, because the pin is being made by the official Disney trading, the Disney pin trade, which is like an official thing where you can collect and trade pins and whatever. And so something Kingdom Hearts is being officially made by Disney. You know, Disney doesn't go out of their way to create Kingdom Hearts stuff on their own very much. So a lot of people are saying, yo, this may be finally Disney easing up on Kingdom Hearts and finally, you know, incorporating Kingdom Hearts into their, like, mainstream merch. And I'm cool with that. But at the same time, you know, I think Square Enix should, like, you know, put their foot down. And if this is the case, hypothetically, Square Enix should put their foot down and give us what we want. You know, and they even asked us what we want, like, you know, the whole business with the survey. You know, I just find this whole situation very, very, very weird and very troubling as well, just like Tyler said, when it comes to the future of the collectibles. But at the same time, this movement is not only about this. This movement is also about, you know, taking that exclusivity when it comes to video game merchandise that are packaged with the video games, taking that exclusivity and tearing it down so that international waters, international lands are able to get those items for themselves, and then everyone's happy, because we've reached a point in video game fandom where everyone who's really passionate about a particular game would want an opportunity to get merch like that.
And I personally find it really ridiculous that if Square is saying that, you know, maybe Disney is dictating that the fact that they're getting a pin, that's ridiculous, because they don't ever Disney's. I mean, as you said, Disney doesn't want to make Disney doesn't put anything forward to make Kingdom Hearts part of them. You know, they don't have a Kingdom Hearts ride or merchandise in Disney World or Disneyland. They don't really have anything that's really, you know, putting it out there themselves. But if Square's saying what is true, that they're dictating that they want a pin, that's ridiculous. Like, what right does Disney have other than them just being part of this combination of Square and Disney for Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, I have to completely agree with HMK, the mentality of like saying, oh, okay, well, at least we're getting like a pin, and Japan's not getting this pin sort of thing, and sort of stuff like that. You're completely right, dude. Honestly, that is completely toxic, completely poisonous. We need to, like, what's happening now with this huge campaign, the Square Be Fair thing. It's great because it's giving us a chance to stand up for ourselves as, true Kingdom Hearts fans, and get our word across to them, saying, we want to be treated like true fans. We want to get this exclusivity. Like, we want to get these collector's packs. We don't want to be treated like, some sort of, like, oh, we'll give you the watered... Yeah, we don't want this watered-down version of something. We want to have the same exclusive collectibles as Japan gets. Because, as fans, we love the game. Every day, like, for me, and for you guys too, every day we go into YouTube, we make videos, we talk about Kingdom Hearts, theories, speculation, news. Honestly, like, Kingdom Hearts it's a huge part of what we do. So as fans, I think this Square Be Fair, like, campaign and this movement and stuff, I think it's a very, very good way of getting our word across to Square. And for the people who are saying, it's a pin, at least, we're getting something sort of thing. No, that's not right. We want to get our word across to Square. So for future Kingdom Hearts titles, we get, good stuff, better collectibles rather than just a pin sort of thing.
When I think about it, what really upsets me is the fact that not only is Japan getting the game first, but they're getting the collector's edition. We were getting the game first like they are in October, and then we got the pin. I don't think I'd be sad because I'm getting the game earlier than them, but they get the game, they get the new Kingdom Hearts games before us, plus they're getting a better limited edition.
Yeah.
And I feel like when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, that Square, if, this really is making as much as an impact as we're hoping the Square Be Fair movement is, then when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, they're going to give us a collector's edition of 1.5, 2.5, and everything that was included in the collector's pack, plus Kingdom Hearts 3. I feel like that would be our limited edition, and then, Japan would get something different. Our luck, they'd probably get a Keyblade. Like, I really, really, in Kingdom Hearts 3, want them to go above and beyond, whether it's limited editions, the game, everything, but I want to make sure that we have a worldwide release, because I feel like that's the most important thing, and the fact that Japan's getting it earlier than us, and they're getting a better limited edition, is what really ticks me off. Because if we didn't know that Japan was getting a collector's edition and we were all getting a pin, I wouldn't care. Because we know that, everybody's getting the pin. There's nothing else we can do, but we know it's public that, Japan is getting better shit than us. It's in plain sight. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Let's pass it over to
exactly.
Dean and give him a chance to talk.
All right, so basically with the pin thing, I kind of wanted to get this out of the way because I did forget to talk about this last time. The pin is just a limited edition. You're not paying a cent extra for it, and the collector's edition is another option for the Japanese audience to have and pay extra for. And while I would love that option to have the Japanese collector's edition made into English, and I wish that would happen, people are sort of more directing the Square Be Fair movement to pin versus collector's edition and kind of putting them on equal ground, where you're basically comparing apples and oranges, because it's just this little bonus gift that Square is giving to you compared to yourself paying double the price for a great collector's pack. If the campaign was just about getting the collector's pack and not complaining about this little pin, I would be a little more behind it. And honestly, I think release dates are more important than the merchandise. Of course, the merchandise is awesome and cool, but I think if Square Be Fair was more about release dates, it would have a bigger impact. We'd have more people behind it, and I would be behind it 100%. Like, I just throw myself into the campaign because the same release date worldwide, that sounds awesome. But comparing a pin to a collector's edition, I don't see the most logical choice other than why don't we have this choice?
All right, I understand where you're coming from, but allow me to interject a little bit. Square Be Fair can be about that as well. You know, it's not Square Be Fair only about the pin. It's like Square Be Fair pin, whatever. But before I get into the whole deal with same day worldwide release date, the whole thing, well, from my standpoint, because I know a lot of other people are like, yeah, pin, collector set, blah. The whole thing about Square Be Fair for me is that the whole point was that, you know, we got a book for 1.5. Now we're getting a pin for 2.5. That doesn't add up, you know. And of course, at the same time, the whole survey bullshit. We had the survey. We got a book last time. You know what we want. Gave us something totally left out of left field and something. Honestly, it's abysmal. A pin is abysmal. So taking that into account, I rest my case on that. And the whole thing about worldwide release, of course, I would be behind that whole deal. But of course, worldwide release, that's a little bit harder thing to do than just, you know, give us something better as a, you know, collectible. Because worldwide release, you're gonna have to take into account for Square Enix's international companies. You have to take into account localization, debugging, playtesting, all that other stuff along with you know, Japan. And the whole thing, Square Enix has been downsizing their companies for the longest now, because, you know, they've been taking very, very heavy hits. They're not the powerhouse they used to be. So I kind of like, I do want a worldwide release date, but I do understand where they're coming from when they're unable to. So they're not a powerhouse like Nintendo. Nintendo is able to do something like that for Pokemon, make a worldwide release date, localize, debug it, all at the same time. Nintendo America, Nintendo of Europe, Nintendo of Japan, they're able to do it no problem. They're a powerhouse. Square Enix, not so much. I don't think they have the manpower or the budget in order to do a worldwide release for 2.5 at least. I definitely want them to do it for 3. For 3, I don't think there's an excuse, but for something like 2.5, I understand where they're coming from, because, you know, the whole deal with their outside companies. So yeah.
Can I? Sorry, Dean, to interrupt you. Can I intercede and just say something real quick? I don't know if you guys have really noticed, but in 2014, obviously this past E3, Tai Yasui in his English interview stated specifically, you know, we felt as Square Enix, as our company, we felt the immense response from America and the other places worldwide other than Japan towards Kingdom Hearts 3 as an announcement in last year's E3 2013, and he said that that helped them really realize how much of a fan base they have here, and that would help them focus on getting, you know, a worldwide release and other stuff like that. And am I wrong when I say that you know, 1.5, didn't Japan have the exact same limited edition as us, the art book? I mean,
I was
was
about to
different,
talk
right?
about that. I was
Am
about
I
to talk
wrong?
about
Yeah.
In Japan, actually, I tried looking this up this morning, so it's the most recent information I got. Japan, I cannot find any evidence of any art book that was included with their 1.5. They just had 1.5 as a standalone game, and we got the art book, and now they're getting an art book, and I am super suspicious that this art book is a re-release of the art book that we just got.
I think you're right.
You know,
on that one.
I do think you're right, but at the same time, thinking about this, the art book that was released in America, it has a message. Well, not America, but International Wars. It had a message in the book, and the whole point of releasing Final Mix outside of America was the big deal, because Final Mix was never released outside of Japan, and it has a message in the book saying that we were finally able to bring Final Mix worldwide.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada. So I don't think they're gonna emulate that kind of book and that kind of message in Japan, saying that, hey, you finally get Final Mix. It's like, hey, wait a minute, no, Final Mix was always here. What are you guys talking about?
That's a great point.
Yeah, they're probably going to put some other type of message towards Japanese audiences. It might sound a little more generic. That's just my prediction, because of
right.
They get everything good already. So
I mean, because they already have Birth by Sleep Final Mix, don't they? I mean, other than getting on a console, they already have Birth by Sleep Final Mix. We can't
all
play
the Final
it.
Mixes
And they have everything.
They have all the Final Mixes already.
Didn't we get the same, what's it, limited edition, the same Dream Drop limited edition worldwide? Wasn't that the whole box set?
The Marker Mastery set?
Yeah, was that a worldwide thing, or?
I'm not too sure, but
I think it was Japan and North America, and unfortunately, I think someone can correct me if I'm wrong, Europe got left out of it.
Okay.
Is really that's honestly worse than this situation, in my opinion.
Yeah, that is worse when one area, especially when games are localized in English in Europe and they don't come to America. I'm like, what is there left to do?
I kind of feel like Square.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like Square has a weird way of balancing these things out, because they give Europe like a release date a week before us, but we got the limited edition. And then Japan didn't get an art book, but now they're getting an art book plus more as kind of like a sorry, we're late on giving you this art book thing. Square is like really weird. They don't want to give everyone the same exact thing, but they want to like divide their love at different points, I feel like. And I don't actually appreciate that, but I can actually see that pattern happening.
And you know what really, really scares me is that if Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't a worldwide release and it's in Japan first, I'm gonna have to block myself from YouTube for however long it's, you know,
Exactly,
until it
right?
releases,
Yeah.
and that's unfair for us as YouTubers because then we can't
Yeah,
touch
because it's
on
gonna
new
ruin our
information.
experience.
And it's gonna
Yeah.
ruin our experience because I could hop on YouTube and just see a thumbnail that says Sora dies in Kingdom Hearts 3, and you know that ruins it. That ruined the
Exactly.
experience.
You know,
That is-
I don't know
yeah.
about you, but you know, page 4 is region free. You know,
Guys, let's all agree. Like, I'm sure we're all 100% agreeing on this. Let's
Yeah.
all bring the Square Be Fair hashtag next year or whenever Kingdom Hearts 3 gets close, and let's all, and I mean get it huge. Like, this was pretty
yeah,
big,
I
but
am
let's
totally
get it
down.
ridiculously huge for Kingdom Hearts 3
Yeah.
to have the
Yeah.
same release date.
Yeah,
we need a
we are making a
worldwide
pact. We are making a pact right now, and I'm pretty sure Skyro Wing off on his boat right now is feeling this pact. as well.
Yeah.
He's
Alright,
like,
so-
my key
He's
percents.
I mean, when
Yeah.
and he's on a cruise, so when he gets back from his cruise, he's gonna get off the boat because you know when you're on a cruise, you can't answer. You know your phones are off. You don't get an internet connection because it'll cost you extra money. So he's gonna get off and see Twitter blowing up of Fairby Square.
Right. All right, so let's wrap this up. I'm pretty sure we've gotten all our thoughts out, and this has been a very good video. So thank you so much for joining us. These are the key keepers, minus Skyro Wing,
Most of us.
unfortunately. Most of us. So I've been HMK.
I've been Volt Edits.
I'm Sir Alan 1.
And I'm cynical. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.
All right,
Peace
guys.
out, you guys.